You feel the pulse in 3 places and at different levels. Quite a lot of people develop this problem, but with the acupuncture you can always release tension in the neck and the shoulders. So what I'm doing is screening our system to find out where and what we can do, what's necessary to release tension in the connective tissues or in the nervous system or whatever it is. Using terms of Chinese medicine, of course, yin-yang balance, and we can look at releasing tension and obstruction, which causes pain. So I'll put them in gently. I'll work up from the feet upwards, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. These ones are quite painless. Some prescription for you. I take 3 tablets twice a day, morning and the evening. Doesn't matter if they're with food or not.
Okay.
And that will address the underlying pattern, the differentiation that Chinese medicine will look at. Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Please take a seat. So I see on your intake form you've mentioned briefly you've had some acupuncture before.
Yes,
Yeah. And the main complaint seems to be fatigue, tiredness.
Yeah.
How and when in the day do you finding in the morning, in the time? How are you waking? Are you sleeping well?
I sleep quite well actually, yeah. Like I try to get 8 hours most nights, and I often do. Yeah, I wake up pretty energetic. But
good. You wake up fresh.
It's the end of the day, like nowish. Like I get really worn out, and also lunchtime. Sometimes I'm also a bit like I have like a dip in energy levels.
Okay. After eating, is there a connection there at all?
I haven't noticed a connection, but I also haven't been like checking for one.
So sort of lunchtime, you have some lunch, and then later in the afternoon, is it you feel the fatigue or before lunch? Would you?
Both, but I don't always eat at regular times, so that could be why. Like sometimes I skip breakfast, and sometimes I don't eat until like 2 or 3. So
do you eat the healthy?
Yeah, I'm trying really hard because I thought that might be the reason. So I've been trying hard to eat like a lot more vegetables and stuff, whereas until recently I was having a lot of takeaways.
Okay.
Yeah.
But less now?
Yes, yeah.
And the sort of makeup of the food, a good breakfast, lunch and dinner?
Yeah, like usually I have like a yogurt for breakfast, and then I usually just go to M&S because working in London I try to get like some random like selection of like a little bag of carrots, and then and like a banana. Okay. I had a tortilla the other day or something like that. So
some vegetable sources and protein.
Are
you a vegetarian or?
No, I'm not. I just maybe probably a lot less meat than other people, but yeah, sometimes eat meat if I'm probably more likely to eat meat if it's takeaway because it's like a pre-prepared meal. I don't usually like buy it at the supermarket for lunch.
Okay, so healthy sources of food. It's important to look at nutrition, that it's balanced and that there's sufficient calories in the day. And there's some flexibility in that, of course, personal choice, personal taste, but good breakfast and a good lunch and a good dinner is important. Do you take any supplements at all?
I take vitamin D, like 3,000. I can never pronounce it. I think it's IU. Or,
the IU units, yeah.
And then recently I've started taking like a women's like multivitamin supplement thing. That's mostly it though, yeah.
Okay. And how do you digest your food? Do you find, after eating it, do you feel bloated at all? Or do you find that you assimilate the food well, and do you have any digestive concerns?
I don't really get bloated. It's just very, like, quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passes through you well?
Yeah.
And the bowel movements are all regular and formed and...
Yeah.
No irritability or any concerns there?
I don't think so.
So you're getting energy?
I think
it's passing through, you're assimilating it. Okay. Have you had blood tests? I see an ECG and blood tests, so your blood results are not showing any deficiencies?
Completely normal, yeah.
Excellent.
A year ago, so that was my recent blood test. A year ago, like September 2021, I was told I was vitamin D deficient, which is when I started taking the supplements, and then the recent blood test, it was all like normal. So yeah, I can't think of anything else that was bad on there.
So the level of fatigue, would you term it as tiredness, or would you sort of more like something like called chronic fatigue, where it is quite debilitating and exhausting?
I don't really know the difference.
One would be like, I've got to go to bed, I've got to lie down, I just don't feel good. Yeah. And that's it's recurrent. And they feel like sometimes they feel quite weighed down by their tiredness.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Yeah, sometimes it's like I really don't think I should be getting out of bed level. Like I just shouldn't move. Mm-hmm. But it comes in waves. Like yesterday, I could tell I was like at my limit, and I probably shouldn't have been like moving about too much. And then some days I have a bit more energy, and it's better.
Okay, right. So it's quite strong.
Yeah, like I can fight it, but then I'll probably end up sometimes getting a bit like dizzy or something.
I was going to say to get dizziness, lightheadedness, but your blood pressure is all okay.
Yeah, it all came back fine. So yeah, I still get really
And would that be regular, daily, or sometimes is it episodic? Is it sometimes stronger? Or?
Yeah, it seems like to fluctuate a lot. So like, was it the week before last? I was completely fine, and then this week's been a bit harder, and then I can't really predict it.
Do you notice the seasonal changes and the weather influence?
I thought, because it was quite bad in August, I thought maybe I just got really overheated. But then it happened, like I was feeling the same symptoms again recently, and it's a lot colder now, so I don't really know.
Interesting, just to collect information, and then we can see if there's a pattern that emerges. Yeah. Cyclically, do you get a difference in your menstrual cycle? Do you find that there's any obvious relationship?
Yeah, I haven't seen a link. Like sometimes it has just happened to have like matched up when I've got like really dizzy and overwhelmed, and then maybe it is that. But also other times I've been like in the middle of the cycle. So
the cycle normal 28 plus or minus a few days, is that sort of regular cycle?
I think it is exactly 28 days, so it's really regular.
And do you get any premenstrual symptoms at all? Is it?
Not really, no.
Because it does concern some people. It's quite difficult the time before the period, but that sounds good. And the flow's normal? Yeah. Yeah, the quantity and the duration, 3 to 4 days?
Yeah, 3 to 4 days. Mainly the first day is bad, and then it's kind of smooth sailing after that.
So some discomfort, is there? Or?
Yeah, just like cramps and stuff.
Do you need to take any medication, or do you?
No, I just power through.
Good, some warm water bottle or something.
Yeah, hot water bottle. Yeah.
Good. And after, do you notice the feeling depleted at all after a period? Do you feel more release and lighter, or do you not notice it?
I genuinely don't notice. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, I move on to things like pain. Any headaches or any pain? Back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, knee pain?
Probably if I have pain anywhere in my body, it's always like shoulders and neck. Yeah. And
that's postural, would you think? Would it sort of work related, or?
Probably, yeah, because I'm at the computer all day with this shoulder forwards, and this is the shoulder that always hurts.
But does that then lead to any form of headache on a regular basis?
I don't think so.
Stress headaches, or often that's where it comes. You get tightness in the neck and shoulders. Quite a lot of people develop this problem. But with the acupuncture, you can always release tension in the neck and the shoulders. So what I'm doing is screening our system to find out where and what we can do, what's necessary to release tension in the connective tissues or in the nervous system or whatever it is. Using terms of Chinese medicine, of course, yin-yang balance, and we can look at releasing tension and obstruction, which causes pain. But seemingly there is no pain, so that's
good.
You're in good health there.
It just feels like tense sometimes.
Yeah. And there's a tendency to tighten up, and we can relax and release that, certainly. Okay. But my core now really focusing in is this idea of tiredness that sort of comes over you from periodically. You taking any medication at all?
No.
I see sometimes you've taken some Chinese herbs, or you currently under any?
Not right now, no.
Medication?
No.
Natural herbs or supplements you told me about?
Supplements I had. I had one previous like Chinese medicine, I think it was 2 weeks, so I took that. I think I probably would have had to have done it longer to actually see the difference. So, I mean, those 2 weeks I didn't really have any of my usual symptoms, but it could have been placebo, I don't really know. But
sure.
yeah.
And was that a tea form or a tablet form or a powder form? Some people
I had like a powder I scooped into a teacup and then I added water.
Okay, I'm familiar with that. So.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know what was in it though.
I could probably imagine, or I could, if it's something similar to what I do, that there are some very good formulas that work with things called blood deficiency or qi deficiency, which may underlay what your condition, in Chinese diagnostic terms, may represent. So then there are some really nice formulas that have been around for a long time, but have been made it into the modern world as well. So they've survived the test of time, if you like. And there's some good prescriptions you can draw from. This is I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine, so I studied that in detail at Beijing University. So I'm versed in being able to write you a prescription, which would be similar to another doctor of Chinese medicine. We'd be drawing from the same knowledge, basically. So you're not taking anything currently? Not
currently, no. Yeah.
Do you get hot or cold? Do you notice?
It's really weird. Like most of my life, I would always say cold. Like I get really cold hands and feet quite easily. Mm-hmm. But then it does seem like the last 6 months, like I'm quite prone to getting hot really easily. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I still don't know if it's related to. I had COVID in April. I don't know if there's a relation or anything like that.
Was that the first? You had COVID one incidence of COVID?
Just once, yeah, in April.
The April just passed?
Yeah, and part of me thinks it might be related to...
It could well be. Were you doing vaccinations? Have you...
Yeah, I had all 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any effects from them? Any...
Only in like the evening I felt a bit like off, but I didn't really get like a...
Nothing.
Yeah, my mum did though, but I don't know if that's really...
There's some mild things, obviously an achy arm, but they might get mild headaches and things like this afterwards. Some people get a sensation of feeling unwell, and that passes. Or in some instances, there are a small amount of cases where there's a sort of like a post-viral almost experience that are very rare. And it's not something that we're not seeing in you. But after the COVID infection, how did you process that? How did your body respond to that?
So at the time, I took it easy. I like rested and then went back to work full time.
You felt fluey?
So at the actual time, I had a bad temperature. Mm-hmm. I was really dizzy. On one of the evenings, I remember I was a bit scared to sleep because it was really hard to breathe, so I didn't want to lie down.
Okay.
Yeah, I had most of the symptoms on the NHS website. But yeah, afterwards it was kind of gone. Like after the 10 days, I was back to usual.
So you made a full recovery.
Yeah.
But you mentioned then you're thinking maybe the relationship when you started to feel more warm as opposed to tendency to feel more cold may have been after April.
Yeah, that's like I've never experienced ever feeling like flushed or like overheated until then really, because I was such a cold person. But again, maybe it was seasonal. Maybe,
it has been a very hot summer too, hasn't it? Yeah. So would you notice the heat at any particular time of the day?
It's often if I maybe I'm really unfit, but it's like after overexerting myself, like exercise and stuff, I'm getting like really flushed. Yeah. So.
Do you ever wake at night feeling warm or having a night sweat or notice that you're clammy or something like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Frequently, regularly?
I don't know, because I just wake up and if I have a jumper on or something, I just take it off and then go back to sleep and then I'm fine. But I do.
So you tend to, some people are the opposite. They want to pull the covers up rather than take them off, for instance. So there's an indication that maybe there is an internal heat tendency. Do you wake in the night? Do you ever need to drink liquid when you wake up, or do you feel thirsty at all?
I don't wake up feeling thirsty. No.
No taste in the mouth when you wake.
No, I do wake up in the middle of the night, but it's usually just to go to the loo.
Okay.
So yeah.
Maybe once, occasionally, or is it more frequently?
Just once, probably.
Most nights, or?
Yeah, I do drink quite a bit of water in the evenings though, so yeah.
Okay. Can you stick your tongue out for me? That's absolutely fine. Any mouth problems, any ulcers or anything?
No.
It looks very healthy. I'm going to take your pulses, if that's okay.
Really?
If you... Let me just feel... You feel the pulse in 3 places and at different levels. Yeah, all well, slightly wiry, I would say, but don't worry about the diagnosis. It's very normal.
Wiry?
Slightly wiry. It's just a quality of the pulse in Chinese medicine that you can. There's 28 different pulses if you studied them.
Oh my gosh!
Not that I would be proficient to say I could detect 28 different types, but there's certainly 7 or 8 major types that you can recognise.
Yeah.
And you're clearly fitting into one type that fits everything else that we're talking about, fits into your overall pattern.
Oh wow, okay.
Very clearly. So that gives me a bit more information to work on.
Okay, that's good.
Anything that I haven't asked you that I think that you think might be important?
Trying to think. I had a tiny bit of like muscle pain occasionally. But
whereabouts?
My legs. But it doesn't seem to be super frequent.
In which muscles?
Like my knee joints, and it's just like the feeling of like heaviness as well. But yeah, it seems to be similar to the fatigue of like just feeling like heavy and like tired. So yeah, but I think that's everything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, clearly, from what you've told me, my information would be something. Yes, of course, you've been tired.
Yeah.
You could look at the idea of fatigue and what may be underlaying that, and what we're looking at then at the qualities in Chinese medicine. And there is a little bit of tension in the system, a little qi stagnation, they'd call it. Nothing to do with your liver or cheese, but it's what they call it is a tightness, and that can sometimes create warmth.
Right.
And what we can try and do is release that tightness and smooth it, and then the body can sometimes respond by you can cool the system.
Okay.
I don't think it's nothing excessive. It's nothing. It's not unnormal. It's very normal. But that's the sort of the area of treatment. We'll be looking to smooth the liver energy, and we're looking to strengthen then the spleen and stomach, so you can draw more energy from your food and your substances. I'm also going to strengthen the kidney meridian, which is the fundamental base of where you draw your energy from.
Okay.
So the acupuncture points I'll select will be in a combination of prescription that will reinforce the components of reinforcement and also the components which will help smooth and release any tension that's in the system. So really we're going to lift your energy and release any blockages of tension. That should give clarity. So when you're feeling well, you feel energetic, you feel clear, the channels are open and you're flowing well. So this is the sort of direction we look towards to find well-being. Yeah. And that's how the acupuncture will put the points in. You've had acupuncture before, so you know sort of what to expect, so I don't need to be concerned that any adverse effects or anything. Yeah, no, put them in gently, maybe 10, 15 points, something like that, if it's comfortable for you. Yeah. And then I'll leave the room and I'll let you relax for about 30 minutes. Okay. If you ever need my attention, there's a little call bell here. Okay. It's a soft alarm, it doesn't empty the building or anything, but it just alerts me and I can come straight for you to see if I can, if you need any attention at all. Okay, yeah. Okay, any questions for me?
I think that's everything, yeah.
Good. Okay, well literally I'll let you get ready. I'm going to need access to your shoes, your feet. You take shoes and socks
I'll take my shoes off, yeah.
There's some really helpful points as well on the side of the leg. You're wearing a skirt, so it's great, so you can lift the skirt up if you want to.
Right, so take my tights off then?
You need to take the tights off as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then laying on your back with your head on the pillow, and you could cover yourself with a towel if you wanted to expose anything, you could then cover yourself. Alright, I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Right, this other one goes under your knees, just take the weight off the lower back. This is a simple infrared lamp, it's going to keep your toes warm, but it could also direct it on muscles if you had any muscle pain or tension.
That's so cool.
You feeling well? You feeling comfortable?
Yeah, really comfy actually.
So these are very fine, obviously disposable Japanese needles, but shouldn't cause you any pain.
Okay.
So I'll put them in gently. I'll work up from the feet upwards, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. These ones are quite painless. Well done. have your last acupuncture?
About a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was mainly on my upper back and neck.
Okay. Is there any tension in the neck and shoulders still?
Not really.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit uncomfortable, this one. It's stronger.
Oh, yeah.
But, it should settle. And you're okay if I place something in your face?
Yep.
It's a really helpful point here, just on the between the eyebrows. That helps the mind relax. And check your ears. Good. So that's all the points in place. So I'll leave you for about 30 minutes. Remembering, if you need my attention at all, there's a little buzzer.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, that's all clear. Take your time, no rush. Slowly come back into the room. Okay. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel great. Really relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. So the action of the treatment will be immediate, but also over the next 48 hours to have a full effect, and it will stabilise. And come and follow up next week would be a good suggestion. These are some prescription for you. I take 3 tablets twice a day, morning and the evening. Doesn't matter if they're with food or not. And that will address the underlying pattern, the differentiation that Chinese medicine will look at.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Do I have to take it with tea or anything?
Doesn't matter. No, they're capsules. They're
okay,
tablets.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So it's Chinese medicine that's been cooked, and then they've pushed it into a powder and then pressed it into a tablet. From Beijing University, it's a really good product.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and they use it in their healthcare system like we do Western medicine.
So
but
neat.
it's a Chinese medicine that fits your picture
Yeah.
really closely. So there's 10 days there if you take 3 tablets twice a day.
3 tablets twice a day. Okay.
Okay, and if you want to follow up, you call me and book in the reception.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.